Very beautifully played. Beautifully played. Excellent. There are certain conventions, I think, that we have of making small retards and rounding off corners, which are sometimes useful and sometimes important, but I think, I have a feeling in this piece they're not necessary. And you don't really need to make, some of the nuances were fine. Some of them were a little bit, I think, sounded a little formal. Yeah. And it could be fresher if you don't make, for example, when the, you're having little fragments thrown at you, and you don't want to round them off. You want to actually throw them at the listener, the same way that this is one thing, this is another thing, this is one thing, this is another, that kind of thing. And so don't round them off. I think it would do them. I think the whole piece should have a little bit more, and it did, as it got along, had more and more of that feeling, of an outdoor feeling. And a fresh feeling, kind of throwing caution to the winds, you know? Yeah. It's after all, a travelogue. Yeah. So, even the opening, I would say, this, I'll be making generalities because of the way Debussy uses these terms. Très modéré, very moderate, but not very slow. At the slow point in the piece comes, the slow point in the piece comes after you have a modéré, then you have a plus modéré, and then at the very end, one measure almost slow, which was fine. But I think modéré is often, you hear these sometimes very draggy performances of the Prelude to the Afternoon Orpheon, which is modéré, and sometimes people play it as if it's quasi adagio. So modéré means moderato. So I would in the opening, not a slow opening, just very leisurely, and I think without any feeling of retard. Exactly, and then letting, and now, and here he has a little pause. Sorry, try do, then let the pedal up at the end of the bar, and then, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we need a little breath pause. Yeah. So we have no sound for. That's where you make your little retard, not a retard, but 1 jump, jump, right, yeah. Again, no retard. Don't even. I'm sorry, I'm being super pedantic, but don't even. No warning. Just let it trail off. Nature doesn't have retard. No problem. It's so silly things. Right. Much better. Then a little breath play. Yeah. This is a difficult place because it doesn't quite come out yet. I find that difficult. You can finger it differently, but in this piece there's even a little bit of, it's very fresh and a little brash. Yeah. So I think be sure that it has a kind of brightness and brilliance from the very first note. And these are with an accent. And then if you can play real diminuendo. Keep that feeling that you have. And You don't have to make a big diminuendo or anything. Just keep the same color, you know, like a flute solo that goes. I would keep that joyous lightness and freshness that you have so well here. And rhythm. Could you know that? Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's good, yeah. Once again. Yeah, I'm like pizzicato. And again, I'll be as pedantic as Debussy. It's always, no, it's not, I'm sorry, it's but Debussy is always doing these things and actually varying the way he has a phrase.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes he has it one way, and then so for becomes but which gives the constant variety in this music. No pedal, in other words. Try without pedal. Yeah. Right. At least the expressive, that kind of a little more depth of sound. That was good. And a little breathy, because he doesn't write legato, does he? Yeah, a little. Yeah. And suddenly this note turns into something. You have and then suddenly. So I think you have a little bit more to capture. The way this innocent note, which went there before, suddenly it catches the first note of your new melody, so it maybe. We could make us hear how this note suddenly transforms itself. No, first time he has an E flat going down to the D. Now he has it as a D sharp. It becomes part of the B major. Even a little bit more. Feel the growth of this note even a little more. Oh yeah, once again. And then piano. Forte, piano, and. This is great. This piece has more popular element than any other of the preludes here, and also in the Neapolitan part, you know, the effective thing. And then he writes with the liberty of a popular song. And I think you were doing that, but I wonder if one thing I think would help with a little bit bringing out more the thumb in the left hand. And with the liberty of a popular song, brings to mind that you have a certain kind of rhythmic freedom. The fact that he writes this with you could play a little bit more with the rhythm of he could have left it like this, a tempo, sede, and so forth. But he said, in other words, poco rubato in these. Tempo. That's right. Then tempo. Excellent, excellent. There's one thing that's missing, though. It's that. If you could bring that out along with it, as somebody has pointed out, he could have gone all the way with that, but he chose not to. One rhythm. So, but that's very good, very good. Play once again this. See, you could play a little bit with those notes. Right. Good. Joyous. This is hard to do, but da-dee-bum. And I think this is meant to be, would be a pizzicato if it were, yeah, it's not part of the melody. If you can capture that, it's hard to do. Just play. Good. Gradually going away. Now, only modere, not too slow. Sure. Yeah, you're going to. So this begins not too slowly, then it goes slower and softer, ending here to nothing. So I would say just a little more sound. I think you could do that, and then when you play, then you have room to do this very, much more in an undertone. Gentle, but beautiful. Don't lose the melody. I like that. But that's also more thing. Right. And this is beautiful. Be sure you have room for that grace note. It's beautiful. I think there's something even a little bit more insinuating and after you play that, this. If you can, maybe a little bit more at the beginning of the rubato measure. If I'm not mistaken, you played to the D sharp. Is that right? And then you played. Is that right?
Yes.
Great, because I almost never hear that. But I think that's what he intended. The first one goes to the D sharp, and the second one you hear resolves. That would be beautiful. It's a slightly what do I say? It always seems to be in a beautiful way, slightly sleazy melody. I mean, this is very. Beautiful, a little vulgar, but very beautiful. We need a little more impulse from the first chord. And now they're almost slow, a little slower. Don't bring it out. Just let it be there. Yeah. Let it be there, and then it will show itself. You're disappearing, and then suddenly. That's right. Yeah. Be sure we do hear that brilliance of that, even if you need to take a little time. That sets that off. Yeah. Now, exactly tempo, not slower. Back to the tempo of the. Yeah. After this diminuendo, boom, boom, very almost quite percussive. Yeah, right. Go back to the piano though. Again to the lightness of the opening. Good. If possible, you have the team pom pom pom. That's good. Dee ta dee ta. If you can maintain the legato in some of these places where he asks for it, he wants dim pom pom pom. He wants that non-legato, but he wants dee 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 da da. And then here particularly, dee dee da dee sung and legato. It's hard. One gets into this mode of you want dee dee da dee broadly sung, and you could make the crescendo a little smoother there. Can you play again from? Here's Debussy's favorite interval, the second. He does more with seconds than any composer. It's wonderful. So we have to hear that. And real forte. So be sure we hear that again with his tenuto marking. So they're not boom, boom, but I don't quite hear and piano, forte piano. That's right. I think it's probably possible to do what he writes, which is suddenly subito forte instead of crescendo. Again, sometimes what he writes is really quite unnatural, but I think he means it. Because he could easily have written a crescendo. Yeah. But one of the most characteristic things in his piano writing, anyway, also orchestral writing, is this. It's and you go back to piano, and then suddenly all hell breaks loose. But so if you can capture that. And then again, it's like the flarings of the brass. And then finally, so it really never comes to absolute climax until the very last two measures. Let's do I still don't quite hear. Maybe you could pedal a little more here. That's better. 4 pedals. Now. Don't go crazy though. I mean, go crazy, but go crazy in a controlled way. So. Try the left hand. Right. And then so if you get right, and then right, and then good. And out. Good, yeah. Notice and even more. So first, this is the only time I think he writes in the whole piece, triple forte, the whole book. This I would possibly play, and of course, I possibly play them even. And you could, if you want, play them, I think, I'm sorry, I'm up here. Yeah, I don't know what finger you play them with, but I do them with 3 and 1 is the strongest. Yeah. And yeah, I think so. No, immediately slow. I tried that way. And then, of course, that sound that you get with all the piano strings vibrating is the last sound of the piece. Yeah. So I would hold that a long time so everybody, it's not this is the last sound is the whole sound of the piano vibrating to that, yes. You know? Yeah. Once again. I'd like better, this is a matter of taste, instead of ti-ta, ti-ta, ta, ti-ta, ti-ta, ta, all the way to the end. So you play through the last note instead of to the last note. Something like that. So it's the whole 5 notes rather than leading to the last note. It's the whole sound. It's the whole sound, yeah. And I think, you know, and again, Debussy writes, in the first one he writes, yeah, this sound, T. He wants this a long sound as much as possible to get a tenuto up there, where everything is anyway, you know, xylophone-like. But still, it's his idea, but it's not theme, it's a T. It still has the breadth about it. Very good, very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.